Afternoon, YouTube. Stocks by the numbers. Welcome back. I wanted to do just a quick video here, a quick update for you guys on Rolls Royce. This was a company we looked at a little bit after the ball dropped here this year, so roughly about 4 months ago. And this was a company that I was pretty hyped about, but I just wanted to do a quick update here. How'd I do? Let's review, where we actually go back, hold my feet to the fire, and unlike the rest of these YouTube stock hobbyists here on YouTube, we actually go back and we review. Did we get the call right? Did we get it wrong? Did we miss something in the fundamentals? Did we take something for granted? Did we miss something in the technicals? Was there a pattern setting up that we didn't see that could have given us a potential better price entry, or was a potential warning sign that we should have stayed away and obviously bet in the opposite direction? But name of the company, Rolls Royce here, ticker symbol RYCEY on the OTC markets. As we see here, stock up to about $1.90. So right here, this blue arrow is where I made the video, January 10th. And as you see, stock was trading lows of $1.20, high of $1.22. And I said that this company was going to make a rebound. They were beating it up way too much. The market cap at the time was, I don't even know, just significantly lower, maybe about 10 billion, because I know the stock's been up. So market cap now sitting at about 15, 16 billion and change. And obviously you can see that so far so good. We pretty much nailed this call, and you're looking at a 70-cent rally on a $1.20 stock. So, what's that, like 60% that you could have made on this position here, just investing into a brand name company that was beaten up, undervalued, selling at a discount, which is kind of what I keep preaching here on this channel, right? Don't work harder, work smarter. That's some of the best advice I can give you guys. And a company like Rolls Royce, we knew wasn't going anywhere. So even when it was down at like the low dollars here, even before this, I remember saying, undervalued. And then, of course, they continued to beat it up. And as you see here, brought it down to like the 70-cent range. I mean, that is just an extreme overreaction. Now, I understand going back to the previous couple of quarters here, the company was significantly struggling on the profitability side, came in light on the revenue side. These are back-to-back rough quarters here, so understandable as to why they chunked it down. But 70 cents, a little bit of an overreaction here in my opinion. And then of course what happens, just like I told you, all of the government funding and all of the private and even public sector money, these orders are going to come back into Rolls Royce. It was inevitable. I know last time I actually spent a couple of minutes talking about the auto sector, which apparently I found out later that they no longer own. So, of course, my apologies. I immediately commented on the video, updating that in the comments section after it was pointed out by a few of you guys. So I really do appreciate that. You guys keeping me on my toes. My mistake there. But at the end of the day, a company is a company, a buy is a buy, right? So the stock has been doing very, very well since we initially made the video. As we see here, 52-week high, $1.94, which, as you see here, was hit May 10th. So yeah, right now, again, market cap 16 billion, right? So the stock was what, 50-60% lower. So yeah, at the time, I think it was like 8 or 9 billion was the market cap, maybe like 7-8 billion, and it was just an overreaction. So the company comes in, they post semi-annually, not quarterly. Okay, so you're getting 2 reports a year. But as you see here, coming in with 8.877 billion on estimates of 7.7 billion. 15% surprise there on the revenue side, and then boom, look at the profitability just going along with it. So now we have a company that even after this rally has a market cap of around 16 billion and just made more than half of that in period ending December 22nd, right? So that was the last 6 months of last year. So now I understand that, again, see, estimates are lower here for the first half of the year. So this is a company that may bring in, as we see, more revenue in the second half of the year as opposed to the first half of the year. But again, it's ridiculously undervalued in my opinion. Again, we hit these lows. It ran back up to about $1 because I'm sure a lot of investors and traders, they were happy getting in here at $1 a share. So even when they started to piece their way in here and then dropped, 40-50% of their position, as they saw it hit that bottom and began to rally up, that's when more and more volume began to come in. There were more and more green days here. And then as you see here, ran up and kind of just flattened out here, waiting for these numbers to come out. High anticipation here. and then boom, you have a phenomenal quarter, and the stock jumps up there from $1.30, boom, to north of $1.50, $1.60, and has been running, really staying at the high 180s, even into the 190s here for the last several weeks and last several months actually. So in my opinion, I do think the trend will continue, because in the numbers I feel that very undervalued here. But I wanted to show you guys a couple of things here. So yeah, kind of hard to tell here. We'll pull up a 1-year chart and just kind of back this up here. See, so these were a couple of marks that I made. See the way it stopped right here, and you had this gap down here. So this right here is going to be the next level, in my opinion, that the stock is going to rally to. As you see, $2.54. I really do believe that's the next line. As you see, a lot of circles here, a lot of resistance and support there at that level. That's where that candle stopped. And then, of course, right above that, we had the gap down, and you can see that that level was at 330. I drew this little ellipse thing, so you can see that in this whole range, this was a very, very high action price level right there. And of course, even backing up even further. Now remember, this was the whole time they were beating it up, right? Look at this. We're going back. Look at the bottom left. We're in February of 2020, right? So this is when the shit kind of started to hit the fan here and accelerate for Rolls Royce. And as you see, again, we have another gap down here. We have a gap down here. So these levels, look at this, 504, 690. So in my opinion, it's only a matter of time, probably within the next 6 to 12 months, that you're going to see the stock start to rally up to the 2.5, the 3.25, and then probably slowly start to climb back into the 5s and the 6s. Because honestly, in my opinion, that's where it really should be. And if we back this up even, again, you can see how much higher this stock was and how much they really sold it off and brought it down. But even if we go back to the beginning here, let me try to, I'm like backtracking. Again, as we see here, look at this 690 level, multiple hits there, and then boom, you had the gap down. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of gaps here on this stock, a lot of action happening at a lot of these levels. This is that 504 level, and again, look at us. We're back in 09 right now, 08. But again, you can tell where the levels are and what may happen here. And again, look at all of the action there at the 690 level. And here we're going back towards inception here. And you can see, again, a lot of action there at that level. Look at this level right here. A lot of action there at the 504 level. So that's what I'm saying. Even going back to the beginning here, you can see all of the price action taking place at these specific levels. Look at this, right from the beginning. Right from the beginning, bouncing around that 254 level, jumping up, and then of course for, what is this, March of 96 to August of 96, so for like a 6-month period, it was really bouncing around this 330 level. So that's why I'm saying, coming out here, I extended these lines going all the way left and then brought them out a little bit to the right to show us what could potentially happen. Now, of course, this is best case scenario. It just keeps climbing and breaking through each one of these levels and gets back up to $697 a share. Definitely is possible. And again, even here, see where this candle ends right there, 747. So that's why, in my opinion, again, extreme overreaction, but I do think it's starting to make that U-turn. And again, the revenue cannot be denied. Company brought in, again, almost $9 billion for the end of last year. So I really do believe that they're going to start rocking and rolling. And I just wanted to do an update video because, again, this was a brand name company that a lot of people may not have thought that they could get invested into, or didn't know the symbol, or didn't trust me at the time, so they wanted to watch it. But again, as I keep saying, follow the numbers, invest into brand name companies, and buy them at discounts, because you had this massive overreaction. We basically were very confident, high conviction, that this was a buy here in the low dollars, $1.10, $1.20 range. And then again, as you see, the rally into earnings, phenomenal numbers that came out there end of February, and the stock has stayed up and maintained that value ever since. So as you see here, this was a 1-year chart as well, and you can see, you could look at the fib levels, right? So the 52-week high made here $1.94, and you can see next fib $1.95, right? And then 99, 207, that's the 1-year chart. So that's why I'm saying, it may reject here, but I do have a feeling it's going to bounce around and climb back up into the 2s. And what was that level that we looked at? Yep, 254. So this 254 level right here, if we come back here, actually, let me take this off so I can do this. There you go. So see, in my opinion, I do think it's going to bounce around and continue to make new highs, and next earnings are coming out August 3rd. So in my opinion, I really do believe they're going to bring that up to around the 2.5 mark here, this trend line, and I think it's going to chill there for a little bit, and then people are going to wait in anticipation of these numbers. And if the company comes in again and says, hey, listen, everything's back on track, we beat on the EPS side, we beat on the revenue side, I'm telling you, it's going to explode off that news and pop up, and it's going to get back into the 3s and potentially even the 4s in the next several months. Again, that's going to be early August. But even looking out, branching out on a 5-year chart again, even let's say if it follows this perfect trajectory, right? If you look at the bottom of the screen, what do we see? April 8th, 2024, roughly. Right? So to get all the way back up from this level here, sub 2, back up to almost 7, best case scenario is going to take roughly another 12 months from here. But again, overall, really any time frame we look at in the next 6, 12 months, 2 to 3 years, I really do believe that this is going to rebound back to levels it was, because I do believe that this was an overreaction. And again, brand name company, aerospace, I mean, engines and whatnot, the company is definitely going to continue to stay in business, and they're going to get the revenue to start coming in. I really do still have high conviction, even after calling a 60% run up here just in the last 4 months. If anyone jumped in after I made that video, congratulations. But that was an absolute great call, and I'm telling you, in my opinion, I still do have high conviction on Rolls Royce here, ticker symbol RYCEY. Switching over here to stock charts, you can see, look at the daily, look at the tightening happening here on the Bollinger Bands, the 50-day moving average. Look at this. Just several months ago, basically when we made the video right around here, you can see the 50-day moving average was like $1.05, $1.10. Now it's up to $1.82. And again, I told you, as these moving averages rise up, what that does is make new support levels for the stock to bounce off of and maintain that value, hopefully, if everything works out, at a minimum, right? So even this 200-day moving average with the stock rising over the last several months, you can see back here early February, 200-day moving average dropped to about $1.05. Now it's up to $1.27. So the 200-day moving average itself, that obviously moves much slower than the 50-day moving average, has climbed 25% in support value for you. So again, you have a lot of things looking pretty good here, in my opinion, on Rolls Royce. And this was when the earnings came out. You can see, look at the RSI, absolutely exploded up, but kept going because of how undervalued the stock was. Immediately jumped up and broke that 70 benchmark, which of course would tell a lot of traders that the stock may start to reverse. However, it just continued to climb off of those good numbers and that good news. RSI looks like it got up to about 85, 87 before it chunked down and then actually jumped back up to above 70. So I'm telling you, I feel like there is a lot of demand for this stock. I feel like a lot of people are watching it, and I do feel like a lot of the larger players out there have already begun to piece themselves in. RSI sitting here at 57 on the daily, kind of mid-range. And funny enough, look at this. The whole time it has stably rose and even hit new highs. You can see the MACD has actually kept slipping, which is very interesting. And now you have this huge pop, and now it's getting even close again like it did here. It had this cross here for a moment. So if that crosses as well towards the upside, of course, I do believe that they're really going to take it higher there on that next leg. On the weekly, though, we do see the RSI sitting here north of 72.5. Now, of course, that did not stop the stock over the last couple of months, but at the same time, if people do begin to take profits potentially in the short term, this mid-Bollinger Band, climbs up over the next couple of days or weeks, I could see the stock maybe pulling back to like the $1.70 range before bouncing up into the twos potentially in the short term. On the weekly, it does look like the MACD is actually about to cross to the downside. So here on the weekly, it does look like we may have a potential pullback. But again, here, at $1.89, even if it starts to pull back, $1.85, $1.83, and then it drops to like $1.65, yeah, it might suck for you in the immediate short term. But remember, you're essentially buying a stock that over time is going to hopefully continue to climb up to those trend lines we pointed out, and one day will be 2.5, 3.25, $4, $5.90, $6.90, right? So you're not going to look back and say, oh, I first started buying it, at $1.80, and then it immediately dropped to $1.60. That's not what you're going to say. You're going to say, that was a great call by that guy, brand name company. We looked at the numbers, we bought it at a discount. I'm so glad I took a position because, over the years now, it has really shown me a great return. And that's really what it's all about. So I'm going to end it there. But once again, this is Stocks by the Numbers. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down in the comment section. I'm usually very quick to reply. Like the video, thumbs up, algorithm helps out the channel. Subscribe to the channel. That's our handshake policy, right? You guys can jump in the Discord, BS with me, talk about stocks. You make special requests. I have a special request channel now in the Discord, so if you guys have something specific you wanted to look at or were thinking about taking a position in and you wanted to run it by me and maybe share it with everybody else so we can all check it out, give our own viewpoint on it, that's what it's all about. And all I ask is that handshake policy. Just do me a favor, push the subscribe button. I'll continue to make videos, whatever you guys want me to do on whatever topic. And, that's all I ask. That's our little contract here. So that's it. But moving forward, like I always say, I understand that markets are rocky and volatile and uncertain. So I want to wish everyone success. I hope everyone makes a couple of dollars. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Have a good day.